Welcome to an X-1 Legion cast. No, that's not Cupid's arrow trying to shoot you. That is an ARF Trooper rifle. Mitchum, how's it going?
It's good. That was great. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Love is in the air with new models, perhaps, or hate. It's a thin line, some people say. Bit divisive. We'll get into that and other announcements on this episode. Matt's not with us again. He had some stuff coming up. Come back, Matt. We need you and your big, beautiful Wookiee loving face.
It's not saying without you, buddy. Hope everything as well.
But we got a good episode for you guys. This episode is going to be like 3 different things.
Yeah. We got a lot.
Because we had a different guest that was going to come on, but then there was a baby arrived, so things have shifted. But we're gonna have a good chat with old me and Mitchum here. And before we get too far into things, we do have a giveaway going on for when we reach 300 subs here on YouTube. If you are watching, if you're listening on Spotify, throw us up on YouTube, but you can comment on Spotify on this episode or any episode after this until we hit 300 on YouTube. Same thing for the YouTube comments. We are going to try and track all those and pull those. And we've got a $30 gift card coming for a winner, probably to like Amazon. I think that's pretty globally available. Who knows? Things are crazy.
They'll be running the world in a few years, so it won't matter.
We'll see, yeah.
I think at the time of this video, we're sitting around 283 subs on YouTube, so still plenty of time to get in. And yes, like Randy said, please comment on Spotify. I have been trying to diligently answer comments on Spotify, so I do hear you. And please keep them coming. So,
Indeed. Cool. Yeah. So, as is tradition, let's kick it off with some hobby harassment. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
I was 5, so you go first.
Damn. I was going to say 5 first. Okay. So last we left off, update on the table, because I know everyone is curious, and I'm not going to live it down, I think, if I don't talk about it every episode.
The U.S. Army will return to give you crap about your table.
Yeah, I'm going to have Jeff and Justin busting down my door. How's that table going? Okay, Jeff, this is for you. I've officially bought my mat on FLG. It is in the mail. It is coming. And I have officially ordered a STL file of an ATTE. For everybody else who doesn't remember, I'm doing a Felucia table, very similar to Attack of the Clones episode where what's-her-face Blue Jedi dies, surrounded by her clones and a couple of ATTEs.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith?
Yes. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith. I'm sorry.
Are you going to put the Aayla Secura body on the table?
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm actually more shooting for Clone Wars when Ahsoka is leading the troops and she kind of gets her whole squad killed and Anakin kind of reprimands her. That's kind of like the vibe I'm going for as far as like scene. So a lot of ATTEs, maybe a few broken down. I kind of want to do a couple like hunkered in the middle and then a bunch of like fish terrain around and everything. And I got to go to Hobby Lobby to pick up those mushrooms that Jeff was talking about because I think they're pretty solid. So I'm still trying to figure out how or if I want to like set up the table the way I like it and then take a picture of it and be like, this is the only way to set up my table. Or like what kind of balance of heavy versus light terrain I need to have to make a good table. So if anybody has any thoughts or ideas on that, hit me up because I'm curious on what you think makes a good table. Okay, so beside that, so table taken care of. I did do some painting, finally. I've got my first batch of Supercell guy's done. Whoops, as I just dropped him. Here's one. I'll just hold him like this. So here's the leader, his little love cat guy. You can see kind of. These guys are actually really fun to paint because they're like all cloaks pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and then here's I was actually pretty happy with the way this guy turned out.
Yeah, your drug came out good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. So we'll throw some pictures on
I
the
was going to
Instagram.
ask if the weathering was on purpose.
Yes, it kind of was.
Okay.
I wanted them to look. So I did white, and then I washed it with apothecary white, and then and then I put the red top on there, and then I went back and washed it with Nuln Oil, and then I went back and dry brushed it with something silver. I can't remember what it's called right now. Lead Belcher. So but I wanted them to look old because they're Supercell. They've been around. They're not the high quality, fresh off the line droids. They probably been reprogrammed. So, and then I think each one of my droids is going to be a different color for the different units. So I have this is Red Squad, and then I'll have blue, and then I'll have green. So they all look very kind of similar, but like with the different toppers and stuff like that. But the capes will all look the same. I'm trying to do like, different capes and different hairstyles, and my leader is a different alien for each unit. So I have like a white cape, and then I have a gray cape, and then I have like this like tan, I don't know what you call it, tan cape or something. So leather cape. So I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. The models are really nice, and they're really easy and fun to paint because it's just they're all capes. So I've got my second set about halfway painted now. So I'm hoping to have everything done by the tournament that I'm hosting and not playing in. So, but that's my goal.
Okay, cool.
Well, and I guess spoilers. I am going to be on. I'm going to play a game with Jerry soon. So I want to try to have as much stuff painted before then as well. So stay on the lookout for that coming out. You heard it here first. So what have you been painting?
I've at 6 now. 6 on the year of 72. Started 5th unit of Black Suns here. Got a purple and yellow going on.
Nice.
Yellow is kind of annoying like white and how chalky it can be, I feel like.
Yeah.
So a lot of watering down and then it running into crevices that you did not want it to run into, and then washing those areas and then repainting the yellow. So that's really fun.
Yeah.
I have all 3 of my sleepers glued together, and I've got 2 primed. On the 3rd unit, though, I'm trying to convert a swoop bike to Gruda head for the leader of that sleeper squad. The back of the head is kind of missing.
Yeah.
As far as connection, though, so I'll probably stick a piece of plastic in there and green stuff the back because it's just round, so it won't be too hard.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
Yeah, because I just wanted another alien in there. I like Togrutas.
Hey,
not the one you like though.
There's only one.
All the rest are much better.
They don't even fight. They're pacifists. Come on.
What? Shakti is not a pacifist.
Oh, fair. Okay, true.
Let's see. I just printed a big landing platform for my Bestman table, and I did some hobbying to make that. There was like no connectors for the bridge. So like there's the platform, the bridge, and then there's like a little building. So it's going to sit on a board edge, but I think it looks pretty good, and it's
I think it's what you're really missing for that table.
It's another big statement piece.
Yeah, some serious height 2 terrain on there. So
the funny thing is, I don't know if it's going to be height 2. It might be.
Well, it'll be a nice line.
It might be blocker. Just height 1, but like it's a big thing to stand on. So I'm stoked for that. Yeah, and then I've got a bunch of other Halo stuff going on, but yeah, no. So trying to finish out the Shadow Collector stuff, ramping up Rebels, and just keeping on.
I'm excited for that Rebel list when you bust that out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it happens. It feels so far away.
Yeah.
1,000 points is a lot, guys, apparently, when you're like starting from not very much.
When you're starting
So
from
I
zero.
commend you, people who are like just now getting into the game from scratch.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effort. But rewarding and worthwhile, some would say. Speaking of rewarding and worthwhile, we played recently, Mitchum, and you were kind of talking about your list and how it's feeling less rewarding and worthwhile, and you might want to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. So I've really trying to make, because I kept my stats for myself all last year. We kind of talked about this before, and I played 70 games of Legion last year. I don't think I played a list more than twice. So I played a lot of different lists last year. And I have a very bad habit of playing playing a list more than once outside of a tournament, I should say. And so I have a very bad habit of building a list, playing it one time at like a local game night, and losing or being a close win or losing by a point or two, and just totally disregarding the list, being like, oh, this is trash, obviously it didn't do what I wanted it to do, it's not good, so I got to start from scratch. Well, that's not how you test a list. I've learned. So I'm really trying to commit to playing a single list without any changes for at least 3 games, outside of a tournament, just to see different
Like any unit
opponents.
changes or like,
No changes at all, like
oh,
nothing,
okay.
nothing, like the
Okay.
same exact list 3 times in a row. So I did that I've done it with my current list right now. It's my Ahsoka Bad Batch, triple ATST,
ATRT.
ATRT, sleeper cells, rebel shotgun guys with environmental gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the 3 games, and like the game that we played, I got very lucky in pulling things out of the bag early. But in the previous 2 in the following 2 games, I have been pulling nothing but sleeper cell, like back to back to back, turn 1. And it's just like I can't have that. So I think the first change I want to make is moving HQ uplink to the sleeper cell units, so I know when they activate.
Yeah.
Having a Impact 3 ATRT go first is not a big deal, honestly. If I don't have a vehicle to shoot at, I'll just, move up and dodge and be ready for next turn. It's not game breaking,
Right. And I mean, if the vehicle's there, that shot's
Exactly.
probably still going to be there if you pull that ATRT
Yeah, exactly.
a couple pulls later.
Mhm. Yeah, I really like the ATRT, laser cannons, 3 of them. I've thought about dumping down to 2 and maybe adding, like, Leia so I can bring her 2 pip, um, with Bad Batch. I've also realized too with my commanders that I need improvise orders. Improvise orders is huge because
Yeah.
Rebel order control is so out of whack, and especially with Ahsoka, because she doesn't like to give orders to anyone by herself, which is fine. I mean, Slay Queen, you got it. But I need some orders on my other units at different times in the game. So like Bad Batch needs orders, and I can give them 2 because we do first turn and you can play ploy, but then that's it. So I've really thought about, I need to drop Vigilance probably, and then add Improvise Orders on my Rebel Officer. And then that way I can drop all of my environmental gear and maybe upgrade one of my shotgun guys to an ion gun or a DC-15 or a DLT, probably an ion gun.
Yeah.
Or if I drop a laser ATRT, I could bring Leia and maybe bring Ally Convenience so I can give orders to Bad Batch on her 2-pip to be able to get them in a better position. So, yeah, I just had some
You
ideas.
could do that and bring another improvised.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really what I'm kind of leaning in towards. I really don't want to steal Michael's list, the LVO winner, but it's so good that, and if you want to check out that interview, go listen to our episode Going X and O, and we break down that list. So I'm not trying to steal it because I still want to run 3 sleeper cells. But yeah, having Leia with Ally Convenience and then being able to give Bad Batch an extra order just throughout the game would be really good. So I think that's the changes I'm going to make. I'm not entirely sure if those would have changed the outcome of our game because I was so lucky in my pulls early in the game of ours because I didn't pull Sleeper Cell till late. So I didn't really feel the improvised orders as much. But the last 2 games I've played, I've missed it bad. So bad. Because it's just like Sleeper Cell, just back to back to back to back. And I'm like, how am I doing this? So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to try to lean towards. So we'll see. I still like targeting scopes on Sleeper Cell as well because it just guarantees a full boat every time. Like I roll 12 dice every single time, and it's just
that it is probably where you could drop things though to get some more points. I mean, they're gonna get aims.
Yeah, and honestly, I might have to be able to add that ion gun and Allied Convenience and another improvised orders.
I don't know if you have to do that ion gun just because you've got the laser cannons.
Yeah, I haven't really been hurting for impact.
Yeah.
The ion gun would be nice on thicker vehicles like ATSTs or Gav tanks or things with 10 plus wounds.
Yeah.
And there isn't a lot.
And you haven't played against Aquas yet either.
And I haven't played against Aquas.
That'd be really good against Aquas.
Or crabs. So just kind of limiting their, just droids in general. Ion is just really nice. But it's only going to be one instance of Ion, so it's kind of like,
how good is it?
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe a shotgun guy and an extra trooper would be better in each one of my squads. So it would bring them up to 6 instead of 5.
Yeah, the shotgun guys are a really good value. We heard it in that interview. We saw Liz running it at LVO, but playing against it, it's like, okay, this is a solid boat of 8 dice, and it's only 53 points.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Being how much we've talked about Legion is such a range 2 game now. I don't know why I didn't even think about running the shotgun guys before today. I think we were just so captivated by the ion gun. But yeah, 2 red.
Matt's just been waving that flag.
Yeah, he's been pumping that flag for a long time. But gosh, 2 red, 2 white, and then you have 4 black on top of that. That's a pretty solid dice pool, Granted, you don't surge anything, and you're losing critical.
But you got impact.
And you do have impact.
Yeah.
But and 13 points for that heavy upgrade, that's definitely going to go up, I think.
Yeah, it's going.
It's going way up. Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll still be the cheapest option.
I think it'll probably be somewhere between 2 and 5 points, it'll go up.
I can see it. I can see it being Ion, then the shotgun, and then the DLT being the cheapest.
Really?
Yeah, because the DLT just gives you range 4. It gives you everything
Well,
that
and
the
critical.
Ion does good. Well, Ion Gun has critical, and it's a point cheaper.
Does it have critical?
Yeah.
Impact, Ion, and critical?
It has Impact, Ion 1, and critical. Yeah.
Okay. I could see the DLT going down in points a
The
few.
Ion Gun is just range 4, and the Ion Gun is range 3, and the DLT is range 4, and it only has Impact and critical.
Okay.
So, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think the shotgun guys are going to go up for sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm gonna run them. I'm gonna keep going with them. I like them. I think I've kind of realized that Rebel Core is not the lethal part of the army, but Rebel Troopers are still really good. So, yeah, they're just more for capping objectives. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm still trying to make Ahsoka work. Our game, she was worthless, but
Well, I mean, when you blank 4 defense dice, it's rough.
yeah, and I totally forgot about backup. I didn't even think about putting her within range. I mean, that would have helped. I don't know if it would have changed the game, but
I mean, it would have been 2 less
it would
dice
have been 2
rolls.
less
So
wounds. She may have not have died to Maul later in the game, but I still feel like I got some pretty decent value out of her.
yeah, you did take out a Black Sun squad with them.
But
So
again, Rebel attrition got me in the end. Turn 5. I was winning for
first 3 rounds?
2, 3, and 4. And going into 5.
4 I started catching up.
Yeah,
Like
yes,
it was close.
in 1.
It was close
and I
at
was
4, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I had, like, 3 units left on the table.
Yeah. So,
And
I guess I was running, like, 2 just medic buses, Maul, a Vigo, 2 shotgun Black Suns, 2 Magda Black Suns, but then I had a Capo with Vigilance and 2 Vigo Pike squads with Disruptors. And something happened that game where those Pikes like hardly got touched. So typically I've always ran all Pikes or all Black Suns, and so like I hadn't done a ton of mixing. I've done a little bit lately. And yeah, when there's just Maul and buses and Black Suns coming at you, the Pikes just kind of get left alone, and they're throwing 7. I think I lost 1 Pike for the game, like 1 Pike mini. And they were just throwing a lot of dice.
Yeah, the one time I threw a decent dice pool into them, you saved, like Pikes do.
And they were all dodged up.
They're all dodged up. They still have their whatever bullshit, and everything.
Danger Sense? I don't even think Danger Sense came into play because you didn't shoot him that often.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But yeah, I forgot they throw a nasty dice pool, man. All blacks,
7 black, yeah.
And that disruptor just, it throws the same dice pool as my laser ATRT. It just has impact 1 instead of impact.
Yeah,
and it doesn't serve as a crit, but like it's still a really good dice pool for 1 weapon.
Yeah.
And then you got 5 other black
and with
after that?
And with the capo in the unit, I do get the surge token, so I can at least convert 1. Yeah.
So I mean, 6-man squad with and then you're throwing 7 black and a red. That's a solid dice pool. That's not bad. And that's I think you said it after our game. They want to be in the back shooting.
Yeah.
Like they were.
So they're good back cappers. Yep. So, it kind of reminded me of like pre-commandos and pre 501st dominance of Old Legion,
the Wild West.
Like I could just tap people at range 4 with those guys, and when clone era snipers were shooting back, you just dodged out of it because they didn't have high velocity.
Yeah.
So, but it was interesting. My takeaway from our game is that I've been playing a lot of Bunker Assault. It seems like almost every time I play, I'm playing Bunker Assault almost. And I don't know if I should be taking Bunker Assault in my list. I'm not running a lot of special forces. The commanders I have, the Capos and Vigos don't really want to go forward that much. If I'm running Bosk, he doesn't want to go forward very much. Gar Saxon doesn't want to go forward very much. Pretty much Maul's the only one.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that extra wounding the objective potential is hurting me, or if I should still be playing it just because I want us to move towards each other, because I got to get to range 2 to do my damage. So
Has it come into effect? Like, have you lost a bunker because of it? Has it gotten blown up? I still haven't had one, and I still haven't blown up at enemies yet.
mine getting blown up hasn't been the result of my loss, but my inability to blow one up has caused me to not win. Like, if I
think that's the bigger tell then.
Like, if I could have gotten onto the POI with a special forces or a commander a turn earlier,
Yeah.
it would have wounded and blown it up round 5 and would have propelled me ahead. So I've been thinking about that one. I think if I'm swapping it, it's the intel, gather the intel or whatever.
Recover the research, or
No, not recover the research. The
intercept the
diamond,
signals.
the diamond objective.
Yeah.
Intercept the signals.
Yeah.
I've only played that the one time though, so I need to play that more to decide.
I'm pretty sure that's the only one I still haven't played yet. For some
Really?
reason. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just add it to my deck just to force this to play.
I just need to figure out how it works.
Otherwise, I'm running Close the Pocket and Breakthrough. Breakthrough's pretty good for my list. I need to play more Close the Pocket, I think.
Breakthrough is like what you want to play 100% of the time, I think, with your list. Especially with the buses, and you can keep the pikes back to
it depends. I don't know. I'm still not great when there's like a heavy act advantage on the other side.
Yeah.
About how to handle that. I don't know. I really need to commit to turtling behind the buses or something. Sticking to the game plan. I feel like once the game starts, I'm like, and just everything goes out the window.
Yeah.
But
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But okay, cool. Well, I guess report back and let us know how the list changes work out for you. I think Leia would be a good include, getting more improvised orders in there.
A solid take in any list. Yeah, and let us know. Leave some comments down below and on your thoughts on what I should run.
Send Mitchum your best Ahsoka list.
Yes, please. I need to make this work.
He's got to make it work before she comes out in Gar. Otherwise, what was the past year War 4?
Yeah. Oh, that's not going to happen, is it?
Stranger things have happened, man. Stranger things have happened. Okay, let's talk about.
She could be trashing Gar. You never know, and then I'll have to keep playing Rebels.
No way. They love Gar, man. It's gonna be cracked. She's gonna have like 18 command cards, and you can bring them all.
Let's go.
ARF Troopers got their Scenes to Stats article, so we see a card. We'll go over it real quick in case you're listening and haven't heard it. You get 4 guys in the Special Forces unit. They have Observe 2 as an action. Scout 1, low profile, unhindered. Their melee is a black die. They have the DC 15 as their main blast. You hear range 1 to 4, 1 black die, 1 health, courage 2, non-surging red save, speed 2.
Did you say Special Forces?
I did.
Yeah. What are your initial takeaways from that card?
Yeah, just with the unit card.
Yeah.
Kind of what I was expecting as far as just the unit card. Something that's gonna. I feel like Scout is a little odd. Scout 1.
I mean, they are Scout troopers. Like,
right, but I almost thought they were going to get like infiltrate or something like that. Like I
I
thought,
think that would have been better. But my thing is like ARC
but
troopers
Gar
have.
already has so much scouting
Yeah.
and infiltrating
Yeah.
that
And ARCs have Scout too. So why not give these guys Scout too as well? I mean, I get
honestly,
it because they're ranged guns. You don't want to throw them on the middle of the table.
I think prepared positions would have been the thing here.
Oh.
But I don't think they're getting prepared
Ooh.
positions because I personally think the marksmen are going to get the prepared positions.
I think you're right. Because they're going to get I bet they're going to get the Rebel Vet treatment.
That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Maybe not
Which
speed
their
1.
prepared positions might be way better since they can share that dodge they'll get round 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they might not get it because of that.
Low profile is interesting here too with the Red Save Army.
Should make them a little hardier. They'll be able to get. I'm sure they'll be able to get Surge shared to them. So
Yeah, I like the idea of Observe 2. I think this card is very thematic. For what they kept saying ARF troopers are when they're kind of giving us all the hints. I hate that it's an action though. And Observe is range 3. And these guys want to be back at range 4. So it's like there's just a lot of like meshing things that aren't jiving with this unit. You know what I mean?
mhm.
I'm having a hard time trying to fit them into a list. Also, I think they're more expensive than ARCs, by the way. Let me pull them up real fast.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there's 2 points more expensive. They're 66 points base. I mean, I'm hoping, like we've been saying, that we're going to get some new mission cards that will cater to gunline armies again. Because at this point, it feels that, Empire is almost, I don't want to say unplayable, but they are in a really, really rough spot because none of the missions cater to their faction identity, if you will, that we keep throwing this term around. And
yeah,
ARC
like
troopers,
outside of Tempest and
outside of like,
Vader
Vader
led,
dues and
yeah,
Tempest, really. But like, a vast majority of their units, like range troopers that just came out not even a year ago. Who's running range troopers anymore? And then whatever they did to Shores just totally destroyed them. And these guys just feel like they fell into this category of you're bringing a ranged 4 weapon to a ranged 2 gunfight,
yeah.
And it's
So
just
so you're saying Observe is fine at range 3 then because they're going to be that close anyways.
I guess. I really think these guys will be good with Cody because he can use those observe tokens. And his command cards. So, but
Mhm.
outside of that, I can't find. I don't know how to build the list around these guys.
I
With
think
this
I
upgrade,
think the Observe is interesting, just because it's like a different way to share tokens.
yeah,
Because if they don't, if they use an aim, it's gone, or they clone share it, I guess. But
sure,
I don't know. The Observes can sit on something for the whole round.
yeah, that's fair.
So I mean, I don't know. It is kind of situational, but Cody probably is the best use case.
Yeah, it's better than giving them like target 1 or giving them another free token that they could just share away. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Trying to get them to share tokens in a different way.
Yeah.
So
I'll say the main thing is I just appreciate that they're trying to do something different and didn't give us another thing that we're just comparing to. It's like Commandos, but not as good.
yeah, no, I
Which
agree.
I feel is kind of the argument people have been making, especially around this upgrade card, which is this it's the Jedi Guardian generic upgrade here. It
Hmm.
becomes the leader of the unit. The unit gets charged. Sidearm ranged, and I think that's just so that the Jedi can't shoot a blaster.
Correct. Yeah.
Because there's only a melee profile on this lightsaber. It's Pierce 1, Impact 2, 2 red. So arcs, I believe, are supposed to be able to take this.
They can.
And I feel like a lot of the argument around this unit in a negative light has been like, well, why would I take this generic Jedi on ARFs? Which, granted, I agree with you. I think this generic Jedi is probably a lot better on arcs. But I mean, that doesn't mean I think the unit will be trash. It's just probably not as good with this upgrade in particular. And I mean, we've had upgrades come out in boxes before where it's clearly just better on other things, like the Hammer's pilot for go buy your Gav so you can stick that card on your ATST.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So true.
So we'll see.
I think I'm in the minority on this. The general consensus, I think, is that this card seems very underwhelming for a Jedi. I, for one, I kind of like how, I don't want to say underpowered, but like how modest the Jedi is. It doesn't have a force power. It's only 2 red, impact 1. So it's still a lightsaber, but it's not
I think this is a hell of a deal for 22 points.
Oh, I agree.
If I could tack this onto a Black Sun unit, I would do it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's just because the name Jedi is on it, I feel like it's being held to a higher standard. I feel like if you take the name off, it's like, hey, guess what? For 22 points, you can get 2 more dice in melee, pierce, and charge. I think a lot of people would take that on a lot of units.
Yeah. I mean, for the record, we were talking about the Iron Gun earlier. The Iron Gun is 26 points. You get Impact 1, Critical 1, and Ion.
Hmm.
And it's 2 black and a white. So this is...
Oh, and this is giving you another miniature with another wound too, yeah. So
yeah. I totally agree. I think this card is very well tuned. I like it a lot. But I think, a lot of people are upset because it's in the ARF box, and everyone's only going to bring it on ARCs.
Most likely, yeah.
I've also seen people be upset that it doesn't have a force power. It's like, you can't do that for a special forces unit. That wasn't ever going to be balanced at all. There's no way. I think this is a great, just generic, don't even call it, it's not a Jedi Knight, he's a Jedi Guardian. He's not a fully trained Jedi yet. Call him a Padawan, call him whatever you want. Go out there.
I think maybe that they should have called it like Apprentice or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Go out there and 3D print your favorite Jedi Padawan and slap them in your ARC unit, and it'll be fine. I think this card is the best card in the box by far. And I think it's very well tuned. I think they did a good job on this, personally.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think part of the argument too, or where people are having problems reconciling, is that this, along with Riot Troopers, seem to not promote, but seem to feel like there's design around, people like to have this range unit that sits back and have the enemy come to them that you'll then charge into. And I just don't feel like that's the case. I feel like your unit is one or the other. And trying to have one that does both just kills the efficiency of the unit, and the game's all about efficiency right now.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right.
But yeah, sorry. Moving on. The RPS is back. People don't like the RPS because it's cumbersome and you have to walk onto the board.
Yeah, it sucks.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. There's really nothing else to say. I mean, it's not a great upgrade right now, just because you want to shoot with it turn 1, but you can't. So it's unless you get a way to infiltrate it, but there's not right now. So
yeah, so I'm not sure. Does Scout trigger the cumbersome? Like if
Yeah, because it's a move action.
okay. So you can't even get around it that
There's
way.
no
Then
the only way to get around it would be to infiltrate
or prepared positions.
prepared positions.
But you can't even use that
You
upgrade
can't-
card on them,
Yeah,
right? Because that's only for a core. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be able to take it on marksman. So
It says ARF Trooper only right there.
ARF Trooper. I thought in the 3D renders there was a
I think there is,
rocket launcher,
but it's like
guy
a
for
different
marksman.
It's a different. Yeah, okay. There's another RPS, but it's the same weapon profile.
Okay, yeah. So
it's
I feel like
and back to yeah.
I feel like if you bring the RPS, it'll probably be one of those guys and not these guys.
It's actually cheaper too. It's 1 point cheaper. The clone marksman one is.
Well, I don't know if we know what that card is yet, do we?
I guess they're going off old points. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
ARF Trooper Duo. So with a Guardian, a Heavy, and then this Duo, which gives you a Cash Surge and 2 Trooper units, you can get up to an 8-man squad.
I think this is going to be their answer for the super squads of core units only. I think this is what they're going to start doing for special forces.
Duos.
Giving you the duos. And I think this might be a great answer for all the strike teams that people have. Instead of bringing a strike team, just bring a duo to increase your squad size to 8, like you were saying. I like this card a lot. I think this is probably the second best card in this box. Yeah, I think it's very well costed. Cash Surge is what it is. It's another token. Granted, it can't be shared because it's not on the table, so it only can be used for the ARFs. But I mean, you get 2 extra wounds and a surge, so
it's kind of interesting way to go about it. Instead of having 2 generic upgrades for it at 13 points, it kind of makes the list building a little more finicky, where you gotta really commit to wanting the extra guys.
Sure.
So I'm sure
I can see a lot of people bring in 6-man squads, or I guess with the heavy. Yeah, you're right. It would be 8. Well, I can see a lot of people just bring in 6-man squads.
Yeah,
so
with
like
just
the base
this.
and then just this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 6 black dice, range 4.
Mm-hmm.
With a surge.
It's not bad.
It's not bad dice pool.
It's not bad.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, there are 66 points.
66.
Lots of upgrades. What do we got? We
92 points though. That is an expensive unit.
It's a steep ask for sure. Sure. I think they have all the same upgrades that ARCs have.
Yes.
Oh, they don't have 2 gear slots. They don't have any gear slots. And they have the personnel swap. The personnel, so like the third one down, which is the personnel, I think, which is the duo. And then comms, training, and grenades. So, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's funny that the article talks about attaching grenades to this unit. But other than that, yeah, I don't. It just feels like there's a conflict between the upgrade cards and the actual unit card of this unit. I think but I don't think there's any other way to introduce this new Jedi attachment or whatever they call it. I think if it was flipped and we already had ARF troopers and they were introducing ARCs with this Jedi upgrade,
no one would blink an eye.
This would be the best box that they've ever released. It's
yeah.
amazing. And so if you take the Jedi out of it and you just look at the duo and the unit card and what they can do, it's fine. They're going to be fine. They're still clones. So I just think they're going to be more hurt by the fact that the game is fought at range 2 and not range 4 anymore.
Yeah. So
these guys would have been great in Legacy Legion.
Yeah. hopefully more missions will
Yeah. Yep. That's all we can
will
hope for.
reveal
So,
things for us.
yep.
Okay. Other big announcements that came out was grand tournament information for the 2025-2026 season. They put bespoke dice here. I don't think they're doing made to order dice, but I assume that just means more marbly
That's what I
dice.
assumed. Yeah.
Special dice, yeah. 5 alternate art command cards: aggression, assault, discretion, ploy, and push. So I guess at least mercenaries are getting love in one aspect.
You just got to win tournaments to get their cards.
I know, yes. For those great players out there that don't want those 3, feel free to share them with me. I would love to have a pair for myself. And then top 8 will get 5 foil cards: one for Leia, Krennic, Yoda, Super Tac, and Chewbacca. I think they all have their updated design card already.
I believe so. Chewie, it depends on which Chewie it is, because Gar Chewie does not. Yoda does. I thought they already did a Yoda one, but I guess it's for the new cards. Krennic does have a new one. Leia has a new
Krennic,
one.
yeah.
What was the other one?
Kalani.
Kalani has a new one as well, yeah. Kalani and Kraken got one.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that makes sense.
They at least picked all cards that will be usable.
Yeah.
And not instantly be out of date. So that's good. Let's see. And then they've also got acrylic objective and condition tokens. Kind of an odd choice since we use those a bit less. I feel like acrylic POIs would have made more sense.
Yeah. I mean, condition tokens, not asset tokens.
No, it doesn't say. It says objective, so maybe. But those aren't even on the table most of the time anymore.
Yeah, kind of weird, but
yeah. But I mean, stuff.
Sure.
And then it says ultimate winner will get acrylic round counter. I'm gonna just say I've never used the round counter. I just go off command cards.
Yeah, I have one built into my STL file for to keep track of my points, but I just use that one. Or I have a dice, so I've never, yeah.
And then there's a new trophy, so that'll be cool. I thought the trophy last year was neat, so
yeah, it was
interesting how this one's. Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad I got the Ahsoka card when it was out last year.
Yep. And then a bunch of dates in the US and around the world. So if you want to get your tickets for Bolivia now.
Is that the first one?
June 12th. No, I don't know when the first one.
Because I know Cherokee is happening.
I guess it was technically LVO. That was the first one.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And then Cherokee.
I don't know if they had these prizes or not, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so cool stuff. I'm glad they're continuing that. I like the dice. I'm sure there'll be other stuff in there too. Like last year, they had all those stickers and like the dice bags and stuff. So maybe there'll be something else that they didn't mention that will be in everything that'll have a lot of access. But if you play a lot of tournaments, I'm sure you'll have access to all of these cards very soon.
And you know what else? If you play a lot of tournaments,
God.
You'll be really good at the Legion Key Quiz. You know, I was just gonna let it go for 2025, but
you lied to me.
I was begged by Matt and Mitchum to bring it back, so it's back. You know, we brought up his name, and so we're gonna be going through guys that have newly designed cards because they're all gonna be switching over this year. We're gonna hit up the Empire, Mitchum. And we're going to talk about Director Krennic.
Oh, God.
He's got And I think this will be good for everyone because a lot of Empire players are running them. So it's good to know what the popular commanders can do out there. He's got 5 keywords, Mitchum. 5 awesome
Jesus,
keywords.
he's got 5?
He does, yeah. He got a glow up.
Okay. Speaking of the new unit card design, remind me to talk about something after this. Okay, Krennic. Okay, he has Entourage, Death Troopers.
Yes.
He has Exemplar.
Yes, indeed. You're doing great.
Does he have not the? He doesn't have Take Cover. He has the Aim one. What's the Aim one?
Yeah, Spotter 1.
Spotter 1. Okay, so there's 3. Does he have Sharpshooter?
No. I think he used to. I
I
think they took that away from all the.
Does he have Compel?
He does have Compel.
Oh, okay.
One more. Your favorite keyword that gets used against you. You love it every time it happens.
Deflect?
No.
Inspire?
Nope. 10.
Direct?
9.
Used against
That would make sense for someone named Director Krennic to have
Right?
direct. 2, 1. Final guess.
Unhindered. I don't know.
Oh, if only you were more cunning, Mitchum.
Oh, cunning. I hate that card so much.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Every time I'm running ball and you're like, go to pick up that die to do a roll off.
I know. It gets me every time.
Except for round 1, though. Cunning, I want to be optional.
It's so good. 2 through 5, though. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true. True.
Just real quick before we move on, we talked a lot about the
new card
unit card designs. I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was on Reddit or Facebook or whatever. Someone was talking about how they miss the helper text on the unit cards. What's your take on that? Do you like the clean cut, polished look? What's your take?
I do, mainly because I know most of the keywords.
Sure.
I think the new core boxes need to have like a tear out page or a quick ref guide for the keywords, I think.
Yeah.
Where people won't have to flip back and forth. Is the back just like full art?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because they weren't using it to put all the helper text on the back. Yeah. So I don't know. It would probably be better if the helper text was there, but keywords have changed. So I understand why they don't,
Yeah. I get it because it's just I find it a lot. I've been doing a lot of demo games recently, and I've found myself, explaining the cards to new players and being like, okay, don't look at the points on the card because that's wrong. And then they'll go through the helper text on a card. And I'm like, oh, don't read that because that's different now. But that being said, like, there's a lot of staple keywords out there that haven't changed over time. And it's nice to just have a little reminder. But yeah, I think for players like you and I that are very experienced, I like the clean, fresh look of the new cards. It's very like, okay, spotter 1, I know exactly what that does. No problem. Cunning, whatever is on Krennic's key card, So, I do very much agree with having a tear out page in the core rulebook or core sets for like basic command cards that you find on all the units in the core box, just to kind of get you started. Because this game relies so heavily on keywords, you need to make it very accessible for new players to learn them and have access to them very quickly so they can then in turn use that to gauge what their opponent is trying to do to them.
Yeah.
Because it's easier, it's better for you to learn all the keywords in the game than learn all the units in the game. Because if you know what all the keywords do, then you can know what each unit does just by glancing at it. You don't really have to learn what the weapon is. You can just know, like, oh, he does this, this, and this. Okay, cool. I know a general idea of what he wants to do and how my opponent is going to use him against me. So it's very, the keywords is very important. And I like that aspect of the game. It makes it very easy to switch between factions. But it also makes it very easy to analyze your opponent's list when you're at a tournament or playing a friendly game and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Anything to just help new players learn the keywords, I think will be good, or easily reference them, because I think a big discouragement is the amount of time a game can take. We've gotten to the point where, we will get our 5 rounds in the 2.5 hours. Tournament play has helped that, but if like players learning a game and it takes 5 hours, like that can be discouraging. And I feel like a lot of companies are pushing smaller scale skirmish games for that reason.
yeah, I feel like everyone's got a small
Which is
scale
good. I
skirmish.
like those games too, but I really like Legion. I like the full size scale army, and I want people for it to be accessible to people for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Okay, 2025. New segment coming in here. So this will be shorter in our other episodes, but for this initial salvo of ranking, we are going to assemble the command card Tower of Power, is what I've dubbed it, and we are going to be ranking the command cards. We're not going to tier them. We're going to rank them. This will be a definitive, non-definitive list of our opinion, and I would like, if we have guests on, let them if they want to have a challenge on the ranking of a card to make their case and things like that.
Ooh, I like that.
So, but to get our initial tower built here, so we got things to work off. I thought we would go through the generics for the game and then for each faction. And I noticed on this list I did not put standing orders, but standing orders needs to be here.
Oh yeah,
Because
that
is
a generic.
That is the most played card.
We would have gotten flamed in the comments if we didn't.
Every command hand brings it.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
There's a rule in the game.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
What a great place to start. Why don't we just start there? Unless you have another card that you want to start with.
Oh no, I definitely wanted to start with the generics for the whole game.
All right. Well, I'll follow your lead then, because you know what you're doing, and I'm just a pretty face.
Okay. So this is our highly technical Excel sheet. As we rank them, we'll move them over by the number, and these numbers will shift as we add more and more. I will call out where these rankings lie if you're just listening. So don't you worry about that. Okay, so let's do standing orders last, but let's start with just ambush, push, and assault.
Okay.
I feel like ambush we'll just start with these three is number one. I think having a 1 pip that works for anybody is 1 out of those 3.
Yes, 100% agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next argument, though, is that assault is better than push. Because if I want to go first, it's ambush.
Okay.
If I need to give orders, it's assault. Push is just second place in both of those.
I get where you're coming from, because assault is a very solid turn 1 play, just to get orders out and to get information from your opponent. And you can always play assault no matter what commander you have. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm down with that.
Okay,
I'm
I
down.
feel like that's
Yeah.
already our gun might possibly be the first contra to say putting a generic 3-pip over 2-pip, but I think the extra order makes a difference.
I agree. So I guess we're in that point. We're weighing order giving over going first, especially there. But with the ambush, it's all about going first,
and it'll be completely contextual as we go.
Yeah,
But yeah, here I think if I'm trying to delineate, I think that extra order makes the difference here for me.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
So let's go to standing orders. I don't feel like standing orders is 4 here.
No, I
mainly because of the way the game is currently played with turn 1. I see so many people playing standing orders to delay.
I want standing orders to be 2. I'm just going to say it. I want it to be 2. Strictly because of what you just said. You want information from your opponent turn 1, especially how the game is played right now. And playing a 4-pip almost guarantees that.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of instances where you do not play standing orders. Like if you have bad batch, you're playing. We do what we do first. But as the list we have right now, I still think having a chance to go first is more important. But getting the most information from your opponent it's almost like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
I don't want to make an argument for 1, but I think standing orders is 2.
I think my only knock against that is that there is only 5 rounds. And if you play standing orders round 1, you are now limiting the next 4 rounds of your character pop-off cards.
Sure.
I think, okay, it's definitely above push.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely above push. I'm
going to give it to you just because
it's not going to be there for long, I don't think.
Just because standing orders, you always have it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always have the other cards. So,
yes, it is.
Standing orders can always be played no matter the situation.
And, Assault does give you orders, but like you said earlier, there's a lot more people playing standing orders turn 1 to get that information from their opponent. Like, standing orders, I really thought standing orders was going to die with it going down to 5 rounds, but it's stuck around, and I still play it. I think it's still good. So
okay, going to the Empire here, and we are not Empire players, so
no.
Jeff, please don't flame us too bad.
Oh,
but yeah, we got Covert Observation. It's a 1-pip operative or special forces. You can order 1 unit. While an opponent is issuing orders using a command card, each unit that is issued an order with that card gains 1 suppression token. I think this is 5.
I've never seen this card played in
not
any
in
Empire
Old
list.
Legion, not in Current Legion.
Yeah.
If you want to give suppression, there is a Krennic
there's a whole faction
that dumps the whole,
Well, you're giving suppression to your friendly units.
You could play Assault, give orders to 3 dudes with suppressive on them, and then hand out way more suppression that way just by shooting.
It gives suppression to your own units, doesn't it? Each unit that was issued an order with this card gains
when an opponent is issuing orders using a command card.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Yeah.
I have give suppression in my notes. So yeah, that's right. I can't read. So.
And I feel like since suppression is coming into play so much more for scoring now, people have a lot of ways to mitigate suppression anyhow.
I mean, this card could be really good. Let's say if, Yoda plays his 3-pip or Palp. You play against Palp and he plays entire Legion. And they give out a suppression to their entire army. It's kind of a makeshift Krennic 2-pip or whatever, or 3-pip. In that case,
the only thing is you have much less control
that's yes.
of where that suppression is going.
Yes. It's solely depend and there's also cards like Ploy. This doesn't
It would
affect
do
Ploy at
nothing.
all. It would do
Yeah,
nothing.
and this situation's gonna come up again on the
Yeah.
Rebel one pip. We'll talk
Yes,
about in a
exactly.
second.
It's
Yeah.
I agree. It's definitely
So
5.
okay, so covert observation 5.
Yep.
Okay. Next is pin down, which is Empire 2 pip. You can give it to 2 support or heavy units. After a friendly support or heavy unit performs an attack against a unit with a face-up order token, shuffle that token back into its order pool.
So, this was really good in Tempest, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know what other support units Empire's bringing right now that this could really affect.
I'm blanking other than bikes what
Dues
they
are
have for
support.
support. Okay.
I can't, we're gonna get ridiculed. I can't think of any.
E-webs.
E-webs, yeah, E-webs.
Yeah,
So, yeah, this
they're
would be
not
good for
bad now.
E-webs.
Okay.
Speeder bikes,
Yeah.
E-webs. Okay, range troopers are also supports.
Range
Okay.
troopers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This one's. I've really only seen it played in
I think the
Tempest.
problem here is it would be so much better as a 1 pip.
Really? It would give one less order, though.
because as a 2 pip, there's a high likelihood that the opponent is still going to go first, and you might not get to shoot the guy with the order that you wanted to shoot.
Because the opponent has to have the face-up order.
Yeah.
I
Because it's
see.
just throwing it back in the bag. So.
I see. This card has affected me a couple times in games. Not very often, but a few. That's a good point, though. But I think
Yeah.
I've really only seen it played in Tempest with all those ATSTs. I haven't seen it played anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's better than covert. Okay, we'll just go from the bottom.
Okay.
It's better than covert observation.
Okay.
It's better than push because it has text on it.
However, push can order any unit. It is not limited to support and heavies, which makes it a lot less flexible.
You're right.
So I when I was thinking about this, I think if a card is limited to vehicles only, it has to be a banger. Otherwise,
I agree, because how often are you bringing 2 vehicles?
right, unless it's an all vehicle list, but then how much do we give weight to a skew card working in a skew list?
Okay, so let's work our way from the top. It's not better than ambush. It's not better than standing.
Oh no, I think it's either better than push or below push. I don't think it's going above assault.
Okay, I like it after push then, because I like to have the variety, and I don't put a lot of high value.
I think I value the flexibility as
I
well.
value the flexibility of push more than I have being tied into only vehicles.
Okay, so push is at 4 still.
Now, granted,
down is at 5.
Putting a order token back in the bag is pretty powerful.
Yes, that's true. I just think there's better command cards in the game that do that.
Agree. And there's ways to get around that. I think, like you said, too.
Or even in Empire, there's other ways to like force an opponent's order control to be bad. So
yeah.
Okay, and then our third one here is coordinated fire. 3 core units. It's a 3 pip. After friendly core performs a ranged attack. If it spent 1 or more aim tokens, another friendly unit at range 1 or 2 may gain an aim token. I think this card would be so much better if you did not have to spend the aim token. Like the rebel counterpart with the dodges, you don't have to spend a dodge. You just shoot and then you can give out a dodge.
Wait, go back to the card.
After a friendly core unit performs a range attack, if it spent 1 or more aim tokens, another friendly unit at range 1 or 2 may gain 1 aim token.
I thought it worked exactly like the rebel one, where if you just perform a ranged attack, you get a dodge to another friendly unit.
And this doesn't even give aims to those the
So
cores to begin with.
this was so much better when Shores got their own aim. When they had target one.
Yeah. So So I think
Wow.
coordinated fire is going at the bottom here.
Yeah, I agree.
If it was 3 units, I would put it above covert.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I agree. I was about
since it's
to make
limited
this,
to core,
I was so about to make this a case for number 2. But yeah, you have to spend the aim. In Legacy Legion, that card was fantastic on Shores.
mm-hmm.
But
yes, because they got the aim when they got the order.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. I think you're totally right.
Okay. I love hearing you say that, Mitchell. Totally
I'll say
right.
it all day, baby.
Okay, moving on to the Rebel 1 pip, we have Sabotage Communications. It's a 1 pip. It is 1 operative or special forces unit that gets the order. While an opponent is issuing orders using a command card, they can issue only 1 order with that card.
Okay, so this card is good. I like this card. It shuts down Yoda's 3 pip and Palp's 3 pip. However, there are still ways to issue orders outside of the card, like direct, entourage, transport. I mean, you do this to a droid army. What's the tech? Why can't I think of it? The commander droid that issues
the super tech.
Super tech is still going to issue orders and get the chain. So you're going to. I mean, there's ways to get around this, and it's limiting because it's only a special forces or an operative.
I think it's either a home run or a whiff, but I think it's a whiff more than not, because when you're 1 pipping, you're usually trying to beat the other person going first, which a lot of times other 1 pips are ordering only 1 unit anyway.
This one takes a lot of big brain play too. You got to know what cards are your opponent already has played, what you think they're going to play. Yeah, it's high risk, high reward, I think. That being said, I think it's above covert pops observation and below pin down. So 6. Maybe.
I think I put it above pin down.
I was going to say under push. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going to say. But pin down because you can put orders back in. And pin down gives out 2 orders. This one only gives out 1.
True, but I feel like
it's heavy in support, but
operative and special forces.
Rebels do like to run a lot of heroes.
Yeah. Which is why I think it'll go at 6, because now you're having to pick sabotaged over way more hero command cards.
You're right.
So,
yep, you're right.
Yep, what you said there.
You're right.
Turning the Tide, I'll just go ahead and put it at the bottom before I read it.
Can we just put this even lower? This is the worst.
Yeah. So Turning the Tide is a 2 pip. It does 2 support or heavy units. Each friendly support and heavy unit gains Inspire 2. There is not a huge vehicle spam meta. Like sometimes you get 2 buses, sometimes you get 3 TRTs. I don't think I've seen anyone bring all 5
without it being a meme list.
Air speeders is not a thing, and also Rebels already have so much ways of mitigating suppression.
This card's so redundant.
Highly situational. Rebel vehicles die quite easily. So by the time you play this command card, it may not even be 2 targets for you to target the orders to. So it's going at the bottom.
Yep.
Next is Covering Fire, which is probably, I think, the best of the 3 Rebel generics. 3 core units. After a friendly core unit performs a ranged attack, another friendly unit at range 1 to 2 may gain a dodge token. This is great. Rebels love having dodges. There's nimble vigilance around everywhere.
This fits right into the rebel faction identity. They like to move. They like to have dodges. So you move, attack, give a dodge to your buddy. They move, attack, give a dodge to your buddy. If it's rebel troopers, they're getting 2 dodges instead of moving.
Yeah.
This is a great command card.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's 3 core units. That's the only dink against it. You have to bring 3 core, obviously, for list building. But if you want to play this late in the game, you don't really want to play this round 1 because you're not going to be able to get a lot of shots off. And by the time you get into rounds 2 or 3, you're really starting to want to play your characters 1 pips or 2 pips. So it can kind of get lost in the shuffle sometimes.
Yeah. It was probably a lot better on the old vet gun line.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to have the range. They're starting with a dodge. They hand out more dodges to each other.
And you can coordinate to up all your Mark IIs. So you're literally giving out 6 orders at that point if you have 3 vets and 3 Mark IIs. I think it's better than push after all that.
I agree.
I don't know if it's any higher.
I don't think it's better than assault.
I don't think it's better than assault. Just in the fact because assault gives you the versatility.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
This is easy, guys.
Yeah.
Tower building itself.
No one's gonna have any comments on this at all. Everyone's gonna agree with us.
Everyone's gonna agree. It's gonna be perfect. All right. To the separatists here, we've got mechanized incursion. Me and Mitch had to read these CIS cards to make sure we knew what they did. So this is their 1 pip. It is 1 vehicle. After a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, choose a friendly droid trooper unit, arrange 1 to 2 of it, and issue that unit an order. I think this is not good.
I think it's better. It's better than turning the tide. Because purely in the fact where you can bring the AAT tank that coordinates to a droid trooper. So you can still use this card to start your chain as a droid player.
Mm-hmm.
Simply in that fact, I think, or this automatically gives it coordinate, right? Because it gives it to another droid trooper at range 1 to 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't even have to have the upgrade. This works with the snail.
Yep. 1 vehicle. I think I put it right above coordinated fire.
I think it's better than covert observations too. I think I'd rather give my units more orders.
I think I agree. Just because CIS has good heavy
order
vehicles
control
right now.
Correct. Yes, and I think giving an order is more important than giving a suppression, especially with droids.
Yeah.
So
I think it's main thing. I almost think this one would be better if it was a lower pip, just because
I agree.
CIS has a lot of other good 1 pips they want to bring, so it's going to get knocked out for that reason. But
there is a little bit of versatility because it's 1 vehicle, so it could be heavy or support as long as it's a vehicle. So
okay, so that is going at our new number 8. Orbital Strike is a 2 pip, 1 commander or 1 vehicle. Once this round, at the end of the activation of a friendly commander droid trooper unit or friendly field commander unit, it may perform an attack using the following weapon: 4/2 infinite, 2 red, 2 black, suppressive, immune, deflect. I think all the Orbital Strike cards got a lot worse. 2.6.
100%. Yeah. Unfortunately, and this is a 2 pip that only gives out 1 order, which is really rough. It's not worse than turning the tides, though. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going right above coordinated fire.
I think it's going right above Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you think about it, because you're going to be shooting from your super tac droid, who's going to be in the back. He's not moving up. So he'll most likely have a target to shoot at. And it really just depends.
You kind of need them to move up a little bit.
True.
Because they have to be in position for the chaining
it's
still.
So hard to be outside range 3
Yeah,
now,
because you have to
though.
get up to the POIs, even if it's
Yeah.
just to contest
And
your
you'd
home
rather
runs.
have them scoring than being outside range 3 so they can use this gun. Yeah,
Now,
I
now,
agree.
now the gun is better because the cover changes, but
Correct, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Sign of the times, I think.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if they changed the orbital strikes to hit an area instead of a
Like,
unit.
strafing run or
Yes.
ordnance. I agree.
Yeah,
I think that would be
I think
really
that would be
cool.
interesting. Like
Have it
having
actually
some
be an orbital strike.
anti-clumping
Mhm.
tech. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But anyways, on to
AMG,
Roger.
hit us up.
Bamboo Labs, please. Please sponsor. Wait,
Please.
what? Why were we talking about that? 3 pip, Roger. 3 droid troopers. When a unit is issued an order using this card, it gains either a dodge or surge token. I think this is a solid one. It's not limited with the core tag. Most of your units are going to be droid troopers.
Sure.
And then when they they can probably chain orders off. They don't get to share that token, but I don't feel like there's a lot of ways to get free dodges and surges.
In clone or in droids, yeah.
And
I
droids,
just
yeah.
there's so many other better ways and efficient ways to get your chain started. I mean, Dooku has direct trooper now, and that's going to start your chain. So like this card, you're just playing this card to get a dodge or a surge. Like,
Yeah. I wonder if people run this in EXD.
oh yeah, and put it on their super tax so they get, or yeah, put it on the super tax so they get an extra green token they can spend. If you want to run like B2 spam, this is really good because you can give all orders to your B2s. So beef twos. You can give it to Magnas. I don't know.
I think I put it at 8. I think it's I don't know if it's better than Mechanized Incursion, but I think it's right around Mechanized Incursion.
That okay. Yeah, that's fair. Just purely in the fact that it
And it's
gives
more
more orders.
reliable than Sabotage, but it is a 3 pip versus a 1 pip.
Yeah.
I think it goes above Sabotage.
I'm
Honestly,
fine with that. I'm fine with that.
just because I think it's more,
I'm fine
it's
with that.
less splashy, but it's more reliably useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Above pin down, I think so for the same reason.
Really?
If it said core, I would agree that it should not go higher. But since
Sure.
it's droid trooper,
More versatility.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
okay. I won't fight to put it above push.
I mean, it does have text, and it does give out more orders.
That's true, but push is any unit.
Pushes any unit.
So, and it can start chains too. So,
Okay.
All right, cool.
That's fine.
Oh, we're gonna get in a big fight there. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. All right, Republic. All right, we got synchronized offensive. It's a 1 pip. 1 vehicle. After a friendly vehicle unit is issued an order, choose a friendly clone trooper unit at range 1 to 2 of it and issue that unit an order. Man, all the Republic vehicles that are getting played right now.
Yeah. This is probably below Turning the Tide, honestly.
Yeah. I think because it's a 1 pip.
Yeah.
What? Tell me, Anakin, Obi-Wan's, or Yoda's 1 pip that you're not going to bring in place of this card. So yeah,
or just ambush.
maybe if there's a big resurgence in the saber or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I would bring ambush 11 times out of 10 over this to give Anakin an order so he can go attack. The fact that I can't give an order to Anakin is absolutely what kills this card.
Yeah, or any trooper.
Or any trooper besides a vehicle. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the vehicle then can give a unit
to
a troop.
Yeah.
But it's a clone trooper specifically.
Clone trooper,
so, yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay, moving on. Air support. 2 pip. Commander or one commander or one vehicle. Once it's round at the end of the activation, one of those dudes that got the order may perform, or well, it doesn't have to get orders. It's just got to be a clone commander or a friendly field commander, may perform an attack using the following weapon: 4 to infinite, 1 red, 2 black, beam 2. I think it goes right above orbital strike.
I agree. Just in the fact
Just
that you can...
just because beam.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you're putting a bunch more suppressions out. I think it's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It still has all the same problems, but I still see people bringing in clone lists every once in a while, so
yeah.
Get that clone commando something to do.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Attack of the Clones.
This...
3 pip, 3 clone troopers. When a unit is issued an order using this card, it either gains 1 surge token or removes 1 suppression token.
This is coming from a GAR player. I can make an argument for this to be number 1. I think this is the card you play. Now, okay, I will say it did get a little bit worse because all the clone infantry units have reliable 1 now. Before, when you're bringing phase 1s versus phase 2s, you could afford to bring phase 1s and play this card and give them that surge.
I think that's why this card isn't as high anymore.
But it's still really good because clones can share all those surges. It makes the army surging red. I mean, I still think it's the best. I think it's still the best. 3 clone troopers, your entire army is clone troopers beside your Jedi. And your vehicles. But, I mean, it may not be above ambush, but I think it's above standing orders.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's above assault for sure because it's better. Assault.
I don't think it's better than assault,
Mm.
just because it's limited on who you can give the orders to.
Yeah, but your entire army is clones.
Yeah, but it doesn't issue an order to all your clones.
No, but I mean, you're gonna have a clone commander that will direct, and then you have you're giving out 4 orders, and if you have 5s, you're giving out 5 orders. 3 of those are going to get surges that you can share with the entire army, or you can and see now it's even better because if you remove the suppression and they're now courage 2, that goes the unit having 1 action to 2 actions immediately if they have 2 suppression.
All right, you're making a good case. I'll give it to you.
I think it's yes, I agree. It's not as flexible as assault, but the text on the card is what makes it better than assault.
I think I like your argument of how valuable surges are to clones.
I mean, efficiency is the name of the game, and giving clone surges that just makes them surging red. So
okay, I'm okay with it at 3.
Yeah,
I'm okay with 3. Okay, all right. Now we're to my loves here. We've got ploy, aggression, and discretion. I think I just misspelled discretion. I think I spelled it as digression.
Digression. I digress.
Okay. So ploy is a 1 pip, no units. You must nominate a mercenary unit. You can nominate a operative. Choose one of your order tokens and place it face down on this card. You may look at this token at any time. When you withdraw an order token from your order pool, you may use the order token on this card instead.
So you could choose any token to put on the card, but you nominate a mercenary operative to issue the order.
You have to have a mercenary unit, but it could also be an operative.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why Bad Batch can use it.
Yeah.
Even though they're not a commander.
Yeah.
I think ploy is really good. I know other factions aren't running mercenaries as often
But when you do run a mercenary, you do bring this card. Doesn't matter which one.
Yes, I think so.
Because I run this with Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I know you run this with Cad Bane and Bosk.
Yeah. I think the only time I don't is if I'm running Maul, just because Maul's 1 pip.
Yeah, and I think the only time you don't is when you run 2 mercenaries. But if you're running just 1...
Well, I mean, it's strong with 2 mercenaries.
True. I mean, it's a better version of Krennic's 1 pip.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Because
I don't remember which one
3,
it is.
but it's random.
Yes,
So,
I mean, you still know it, so it gives you control. But
yeah,
Ploy is like, it's let me dodge sabotage communications. It's let me dodge the Palpatine, or not Palpatine, and like a bunch of other cards that make you throw an order token back into your bag. It's like, I didn't issue any orders, so, or like covert observation. Oh, they get suppression. I didn't give any orders.
Yeah.
So I think
was this number 1?
I don't know if it's number 1 just because of the mercenary limit.
That's fair.
I'm thinking above assault. I think I'd be willing to put it under Attack of the Clones. I think I'm valuing it more because I play Shadow Collective so much.
I think
so. I'm trying to not propel it too high.
I think you're right. I think that's great. Honestly, we could probably make an argument that assault is higher just because it's any unit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, that mercenary limiting factor is pretty big.
As far as ordering, but you can take any token you want.
True. Yeah.
So assault has no niche, but I think ploy is king, and the niches you run it in. We might come back to that one, but we'll have ploy at 4 for
I'm
now.
sure we'll have someone argue us on that one.
Yeah. It might be me. Aggression is a 2 pip. You can order 2 units. You got to nominate a mercenary unit to issue the orders with this card. You can issue up to 2 fewer orders for each order not issued, and then choose a different friendly mercenary unit in range 1 to 3. Each chosen unit gains an aim token. This got a little worse because you can give orders beyond range 3 now. So having card text that limits those tokens to shorter than what you would give the orders to is not as good.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But I honestly, it's to give orders to your vehicles in Shadow Collective. I don't see a lot of people taking it in other.
Do you ever not give the orders to give out aims?
Yes, if I'm running like Gar Saxon or Bosk, I'll give 1 order to a bus and then another aim. Because a lot of times, even if you're running 2 buses, you just really need control over 1. I think I
kind of like where you're
under push. Is it better than Roger?
No, because Roger can give to 3 units, and it also gives tokens to 3 units, and this can only give tokens to 2 units.
But this is a 2 pip versus a 3 pip.
It is, but it's limiting,
and I can do it to any unit, not just a specific kind of unit. It's just
the
limit on who's giving the order.
I agree it's not better than push, because push is a 2 pip that gets
anything. Yeah. I'll put Roger above it. As long as we can agree it's better than pin down.
Yes, I'll agree with the pin down. Yes.
Okay. And then discretion is a 3 pip that orders to 3 units. You must nominate mercenary unit. You can choose to issue up to 3 fewer units. For each one you don't give, you can give a unit within range 1, 2, 3, a dodge token. Man, I played this so much when I was running pipe spam. It's probably lower down the list because the dominance of pikes is down.
Yeah. I mean, this was the turn 1 play every single time, pretty much, at the beginning of the game. Yeah, that limiting range on the card is very kind of detrimental.
I think it would be better if, like, it didn't have to be a mercenary commander. Like, Leia could use this to give out three dodges if she wanted to, or a mix of orders and dodges. But I don't know if that's even better than covering fire.
Is this better than aggression just because it's dodges?
Maybe. I think so. I think that's where I'd put it.
I think it's and you can give up to 3 units, or you can do like 2 and then 1 dodge, or I mean, you still have some play, but
like you can order 2 buses and give a dodge out. And I think discretion and aggression, you're not as worried about going first, because if you are, then you're probably playing ploy.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
Yep, I agree.
All right. So I'm going to read off the list as it stands of the command card Tower of Power. At number 1, we have Ambush. 2, Standing Orders. 3, Attack of the Clones. 4, Ploy. 5, Assault. 6, Covering Fire. 7, Push. 8, Roger. 9, Discretion. 10, Aggression. 11, Pin Down. 12, Sabotage Communications. 13, Mechanized Incursion. 14, Covert Observations. 15, Air Support. 16, Orbital Strike. 17, Coordinated Fire. 18, Turning the Tide. 19, Synchronized Offensive. I'm honestly surprised Turning the Tide's not at the bottom.
I'm honestly surprised by a lot of these cards, honestly.
Really?
I was not expecting the generics to be 1 and 2. Or, 3 of the top 5. So.
Yeah. I think Ambush got hurt with people bringing more characters.
Yeah.
But it being a universally available 1 pip.
Yeah. It definitely got hurt with the points increase, but
I mean, I think it's going to drop down once we get into characters for sure. But
I think all these are going to get dropped down for sure.
Yeah, but I think this is a good
great
foundation to build our tower upon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
I don't
know. Yeah, maybe I'll. Maybe I'll put like a link for people to view this whenever they want to. But get in the comments.
Screenshot and post it on
tell us how terribly wrong we are, and we will ignore it and continue down this damned path we've set for ourselves.
I can't wait for Matt to look at this list and see what he thinks.
He's gonna be garbage.
He's like, why is Attack of Clones not number 1? All the clone why are not all the clone command cards number 1?
Hey, I'm trying to get off the clone hate train. Don't make me get back on it. But okay, cool. Yes. So let's wrap it up. You mentioned that there is a tournament coming up at Edmond Unplugged on February 22nd.
That's correct. Yep.
You want to tell us anything else about it?
Yeah. I think we have 11 people signed up right now. Really trying to make a push to get to 16. So we're just 5 players away. We could take more than that, but if you're available or in the OKC area or want to drive down from any of our border states, come on down. We're going to be doing bounties. There's going to be a painting competition. There'll be prizes for best faction, and overall winner and stuff like that. So we'd love to have you, and you get to come and hang out with the X and 1 homies.
If you are a listener that ever travels to one of our locals, like from out of town, you let me know ahead of time, and I will make sure there's some POI, X and 1 POIs, and a sticker waiting for you for sure.
If there is a listener that travels from out of town to one of our tournaments, I will pay for your tournament fee. So, and I will buy you a beer. So
there it is.
Yeah,
and it's a LVOI invitational qualifier.
It is an LVOI full qualifier. So the winner of this tournament will get an automatic bid to play in the tournament at LVO in 2026. So yeah, if you want to come compete against some of our best, hit us up. The link is on
Longshanks.
Longshanks, and I will put a link to that in the description. So can't wait to see you there.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for listening. It's exciting year of Legion coming up. Got a lot of things, man. We were looking at our calendar, and I was just like, man, there's a lot of things to talk about and things coming up happening. So
yeah,
we're stoked about it, and also kind of frazzled. But no, it's going to be great. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Remember the giveaway to comment, subscribe, and that X and O is just a game away.